What's up, guys? So for today I have a very special team for you guys. It's been a team I wanted to use in some time. I haven't been playing Wind like I normally do, getting Minato and getting Edo Tobirama in the process. Both have really good synergy together since they rely on tags, but Minato does the high hit combos and Edo Tobirama needs high hit combos for his 30 hit combo chase. Very good synergy between those two. Now I was thinking, I'd pretty much pair up Kurenai with this team and try that out. But I figured I'd go for something more special. Bring in Hokage Tsunade since I don't use her too much. Just to make the team feel a little bit more royal. So it's the Royal Hokage team. It's pretty much a fun team to use at this point. It does have some weaknesses which I don't like when it comes to building teams. My first, I guess I don't really have rules for team building, but I always try to get a barrier. This team does not have any barriers, so it is pretty difficult with that. Your enemy will always have an extra damage boost on you, and while Hokage Tsunade may be protected as well as the Wind main, unfortunately your Minato and Tobirama only have a dodge, so the team has weaknesses, especially in my Sage world. You will see I had a very difficult Sage tonight, and I don't mean that this team was poorly performing, but that I was fighting ridiculous teams and a lot of them had immunities. So what I did to the team originally was I used Dance of Impetus because the whole idea of the team is to do a wombo combo. You get somebody tagged, round 2, you can Hokage Minato, get an AoE interrupt going on with massive damage. You could do Edo Tobirama as well, just so you can get a 1 round cooldown. It doesn't really make too much of a difference because you're going to Dance of Impetus anyway. And Hokage Tsunade to chaos somebody else. So you can basically blow all your mysteries, reset them, do it 2 rounds in a row. It's a ton of damage. We're also running the 10 hit combo chase with King of Hell, running Flower Guard to protect the Wind main as well as Hokage Tsunade, because she's on the squishy side. I am running clones because I need some kind of meat shield so my Minato and Tobirama take less damage. I even went ahead and put Life Mood on my Wind main. I went ahead and put Life Mood because her clones are based off of HP, and it honestly makes a huge difference, so I gave her Life Mood for that. Running Ghost Kill because it's my highest level tactic. I don't really have anything else to sub out to. But what I would suggest after my experience is, if you don't want to run Dance of Impetus because you can't do any mysteries round 1, go for the Wind Sand Dust, because I was fighting a lot of immunities. This will help you out against that. Or either way, I was fighting a lot of Earth mains, so you can just get rid of buffs, shields. It'll really help you out. So I will pretty much be running the Sand Dust mystery instead. Gives you a mystery round 1 as well. Fortunately, you can't reset the wombo combo, so you have to play a little bit more cautiously. But the team is focused around Dance of Impetus. So let us get into the battle, and I can go over the ninjas and what they do. And you guys can see all that gameplay. So guys, when using this team, I would say the ultimate weakness is pretty much Jinchurikis. They are immune, so it is going to be impossible to tag them. And if they're running a full Jinchuriki lineup, then the main is literally the only person you can go after. And that also depends on who the main character is. So right off the bat, of course, we get ourselves a Jinchuriki lineup. Water main as well as Sailor Sakura. Now, just to briefly go over the lineup, so Wind main is giving Flower Guard protection to herself as well as Tsunade, which means they are immune, can't get crowd control, unless of course you have a mystery like Masked Man, which will disperse it and still immobilize, and basically purges your buff and you're screwed. Another thing is Hokage Minato gives 40% resistance to the entire team, which will make everyone a lot more defensive. And I guess the biggest issue is you're not going to have a barrier, so with a lot of Shisui's going on lately, you'll be giving them free damage and you just don't have any kind of way to disperse a barrier. So you have to wait for it to run out with this team. And then I guess another thing is Minato and Tobirama are pretty much exposed. They do have a dodge, but they're kind of in the front line, and that's the reason why I'm running clones. Give them as much protection as I can, and to just simply absorb as many hits from them so they don't have to. Otherwise, you have Hokage Tsunade to heal you. You have basically the whole team can interrupt except for the Wind main. Hokage Minato has an interrupt, Tobirama has an interrupt, and Hokage Tsunade will basically chase herself when her mystery hits, and if she crits with the chase, which is a guaranteed crit, she will end up chaosing. So It's very good, but it's just also very dangerous to that. It's the mystery that guarantees the crit, sorry, not the chase. But anyway, the synergy with the lineup is to rack up as many hits as you can to get your King of Hell, your 10 hit going off from the main, eventually leading up to Tobirama's 30 hit combo. It does a lot of damage. It also causes interrupt as well as the tag to 2 random enemies. And his standard attack will hit up to 3 units with a 4 combo and has a chance of causing knockdown to 1. Another really good thing about this team is Tobirama scales his taijutsu damage. Well, every time he causes taijutsu damage, he will scale his attack by 20% and ninjutsu by 5%, which means every time he chases mysteries, he will keep scaling up, and it is a ridiculous point of scaling. This scales more than Hokage Minato, because Hokage Minato, before each action, will tag somebody and end up increasing attack by 9% and combo by 12. So, it's a very strong team in a sense, but it has a lot of weaknesses, and here, let me point this out. I am fighting possibly the strongest Great Ninja War Tenten meta team I have ever played against. I have not fought a super stacked Great Ninja War Tenten meta, or at least struggled against one, since 2.0 days when it was really meta. Or really endgame at least. So fighting against this, I was like, wow, you know, it's really difficult to get any kind of damage out on this person. By seeing his health, I can assume he has over maybe 120k, 130k power. So he's pretty close to me, and judging by the hits I'm taking and just how he's like literally untouched because of the shields, he's just really strong. You know, it's a really strong player to fight against that. But my Minato was out of action for the second round, and all I could hope was to use up my mysteries, end up using Dance of Impetus, and hope everything would settle off that way. Here taking more damage from Mei, and I was just like, at this fight, I was starting to see like all the weaknesses of the team happening in one battle, and I was pretty much already convinced like this is it. The team's a bust. It's not gonna do so good since most lineups will have barriers, so you're always at a disadvantage for that. And I was honestly getting really nervous during this fight. So I could have interrupted that, but I was just way too slow in that sense. Then the heal went off, so the fight went for worse and worse. Then I had no choice but to Dance of Impetus and hope Hokage Minato can do some damage. Now, I didn't use my mystery. I used it on the clone, and at that point I was really concerned because the clone died. But luckily, they ended up going off on the water main, and she ended up getting tagged. So it ended up doing a lot of damage to the team. That's like the first big source of damage I've seen. I was like, okay, I got myself a couple more mysteries, so the water main's gonna die off because it's Tsunade. Then I also have Tobirama's mystery for next round. Real issue is, at this point I am locked down. My Minato and Tobirama have very low HP. I have no mysteries until next round. And it's just, it's a real difficult fight. But I am honestly surprised that they ended up pulling it off because they were at so little health, and I guess that's where having a healer really helps out, as well as having dodge passes, because it just really protects you in the end, and the team really lacks some survivability. Now from the beginning you did see in that screenshot, the team can usually get like high 20s for the hits, but it has been very consistent when it comes to getting Tobirama's 30 hit combo chase. Like I said, if anything, change out Tsunade for someone else that works out. Fight after this, I fight Conan, and I'm just like, oh no. Conan is one of the strongest players in my space time. Has about like I guess a 20k power on me, and I already knew this was gonna be it. Like I was gonna get destroyed. Shoutouts to him for watching the last video, and I really wasn't able to do much. Plus with a Genjutsu mystery, it's at this point where I'm like, damn, you know, running Dance of Impetus for fights like this, you really run the 4th mystery, as whenever they do use their mystery, you can just clear off the shields and not worry about the immunities for that round. But there was just a huge power difference, as well as, you know, stats wise more than power. So this fight was just not gonna work out at all. especially with Hokage Tsunade being Masked Man. Me having no tag targets, I can't even hit Shisui because he's gonna dodge. Masked Man's gonna dodge, and so is Joni Minato. You know, triple dodge lineups are very annoying to fight against, and they're all very strong. So I really had no targets but the main to go for. And I just honestly didn't even end up doing anything in this battle because I knew it was lost from the beginning. It was just one of those fights, you just know how it's gonna end. Even more so when the mirror is there, so even if I did waste mysteries, it wouldn't have been that easy to get myself a tag. And yeah, it was just done from the moment Masked Man hit my Tsunade. But you know, in certain situations, you can get the Dance of Impetus off and have a huge burst of damage. And sometimes, you know, you just rather have the Fort Mystery so you can clear buffs, shields, all those stuff. So it helps out with that. But it still really can't protect you too much against Jinchuriki immunities. Going into the next fight, got myself it's an interesting swordsman team. I mean, I rarely see Ringo. Donzo as well is very good for his barrier, causes chaos. Jinpachi, very good for reanimated ninjas and a constant ignite every round. So, you know, at this point I was just like, I hope the team can do better. I know it can do better. I mean, they're Hokages for a reason. They are very strong ninjas, but the meta does not really suit their purpose in this team. It's really difficult to go without barriers, and it's just really difficult against immune ninjas when you're trying to get tags. So, but I had a lot of fun with this team. I'm gonna tell you, it was really enjoyable seeing this. Hokage Minato is my second favorite Hokage next to Tobirama, and I never had a Tobirama in this game since you need rank 9 battle armor for the original one, or like super ridiculous RNG luck to obtain him. And then, you know, Edo Tobirama the Beast with ridiculously broken scaling, as well as Hokage Minato, waiting 14 months for him. So I figured to try out more of a fun team and see how well it can do. Because as good as it is winning constantly in Sage, you know, coming back into the game for the last week or two, I've been having lots of fun. And I'm just trying to try out as many lineups as I can and show you guys gameplay for teams that do end up working. Now I can tell you that this team it's strong, but it's not as consistent as I wish it could be. And that's mostly because of the way the meta is. Here I was like, my goodness. Fighting the Kurama Naruto, Roshi, Killer Bee, 3 Jinchurikis have immunities, and literally all I can do is go after the Earthman. And then the issue is, I need Earthman to get tagged, and then I have to just bomb him with every single mystery, because I can't chaos anyone else from Tsunade's mystery. So, pretty much the whole point is, kill the Earthman and the team should fall apart. Freaking Biju round 1. I have my dodges on both of them actually. And taking some King of Hell damage as well as the Roshi chase. So, good thing is that there's no barrier in this team. Roshi would take it down anyway next round. But it's a very strong lineup. And I do hope to finish my super rare at the end of this month. I'm leaning more towards Kurama Naruto just because he is very rare on my server. Only 2 people have him. And here it goes. You know, the main is tagged because of Tobirama's mystery. And that's when I bring out the Minato. So, also interrupting Roshi in the process. Causing as much damage as I can. Chaosing the main. And then going to Dance of Impetus and do it again. And that's what my strategy was. Just to kill the Earth main and then focus on everybody else in the process. I must say, Edo Tobirama is a beast. I really love his animations. I wish his mystery was the tandem paper bomb jutsu that he had. But the manga version, or the one from the Storm game at least, that ultimate jutsu. Not the one that was actually shown in the anime, because they really slacked off. And it disappointed me, because I really love Tobirama and they did him dirty in the anime with the paper bombs that he'd normally do. But he has really high damage because of the scaling. And his mystery is really good single target. I mean, it can hit high. The mystery almost doubles itself in damage every single round that you use it. So obviously, the more fights you last, the better it's going to be. But overall, I really like the team. It's using all the Kages together, using Hokage Minato, which has been a lot of fun lately. Even Edo Tobirama's animations, I really love the chase, I love the standard attack. Has a dodge on top of it. You know, he's a really solid ninja. I'm glad I picked him up throughout this week as well. Lots of teams to try out with these two. They have such good synergy. They work with any ninja that also has high hit combo chases instead of regular ones. So a lot of teams to try out with them. But I did have a lot of fun using them all together and going win main to get some variety. I had higher expectations of Tsunade in the team though, especially her being a healer. And you know, having Dance of Impetus ready, but I know that they were gonna still be the focus of the team. But I believe that this team would have greater success, probably in Bonds and definitely in Great Ninja. I think it would shine a lot better over there, especially because Tsunade can heal up to, what is it, like 9 or 12 even. Yeah, it has a chance of healing 9 or 12. So the team is definitely more suited for Great Ninja War, especially with all the AoE damage that it can do. So using this team in a 1v1 situation, probably run the 4th mystery instead of Dance of Impetus. For Great Ninja War and team fights, definitely go with Dance of Impetus. Or you could still run the 4th mystery and get rid of some immunities. Here I go up against Spider-Man. I didn't know he turned into a villain, but man, a Susanoo Itachi, and I'm just like, you know, he is OP. And he has immunities and super armor, so I'm just like, as well as a Shisui and a Windmain and a Kurenai in that lineup. It's pretty much untaggable at this point because Flower Guard for the back row, Shisui is the only one that can end up getting debuffed right now. And then you still have to worry about the mirror. So wow, like fighting this team, I was having ridiculously hard fights in Sage. For me trying to use like a fun lineup, I was fighting probably like the best of the best ninjas you can imagine for most of the fights. And they end up being pretty long fights as well. So I didn't end up getting too many fights just because of how long they were. But the plan here was, I was honestly hoping that it would end up hitting the Windmain and tagging her, not realizing that she is also immune at this point. And I also forgot that there would have been a mirror to reflect it anyway. So my efforts for that went away. Luckily that even though the Windmain is chaos, I have to wait for Hokage Tsunade to heal it off. And pretty much next round is when I'll actually be able to do something. So against Flower Guard lineups, you pretty much have to wait. And Susanoo Itachi also tried to chaos my Tsunade there. Which thank God for Flower Guard because that saved me from it. And then he uses the mirror, so at this point, gonna interrupt with Tobirama, make sure he doesn't reset any of his mysteries. That was a real savior there. Then after this round is when I pretty much decide to Dance of, or not even Dance of Impetus, because Minato will be up. But Chaos the Windmain, and try to do as much damage as I can. You know, I love the scaling for Tobirama. Most of the time, people have been focusing Minato on this team, not realizing that Tobirama can still do a ton of damage out of it. And obviously the back row gets focused as well. So here, finally got myself Attack Ninja. Can go ahead. I also managed to get off Shisui's dodge. So everyone ends up getting hit for a ton of damage. Do my Minato mystery, reset everyone, be ready to do it again next round. This is the kind of wombo combo situation that I've been trying to do with this team. And when you can actually pull it off, you really like this team. But when it starts struggling, oh man, it can get so difficult to get through. I thought that the team would do a lot better than it actually did. But I must say that I am surprised about the fights I was winning tonight in Sage with this team. Especially when it's so hard to get ninja tagged these days. So the team did perform good, despite having a lack of fights. There's Susanoo Itachi being so, just being there, but Minato and Tobirama both scaling throughout round after round really increases the amount of damage that they'll be doing the further the battle goes on. And that's the difference between Jonin Minato and Hokage. Jonin Minato is good for shorter fights. Hokage Minato is for the long-term battle. Tobirama as well, the longer he scales, more damage he'll end up doing. And his mystery, like I said, almost keeps doubling round after round. Here going up against another Susanoo Itachi with Joni Minato and Masked Man. 2 dodge ninjas and a fire main. I'm just like, damn, how many Susanoo Itachis did I have to fight tonight? It's straight up like Uchihas with immunities or Jinchurikis. That is the meta of the game. So why would I decide to run a team like this? It came to mind. I had fun with it. I thought it would be a fun team to use. You know, I had pretty high expectations for it. And I'm just doing all these fights, and at the time I'm thinking like, why did I choose to do this? It's honestly difficult to win with this. I have to try and play so perfectly, make sure I don't misplay. And it's just, wow, it honestly became a huge pain to play with this. You know, now that I'm watching some, like, my fights, I'm just, like, wondering, like, what was I thinking mistreating at certain times with Minato? I think there was 2 fights where I mistreated for no reason. But, you know, stuff happens when you're in battle, especially, I mean, during these fights. I was stressing out against these Susanoo Itachis. I'm so close to getting mine. Probably whenever a good event comes out for him, that's when I'll finish. But yeah, it was a pretty stressful fight at this point. So Masked Man being tagged, I would have to get rid of his dodge and then mystery. So I was gonna wait for the standard attack to go off, then hit him with the whole Minato bomb, follow it up with Tobirama, and I was pretty much gonna think of doing the same thing with Tsunade. But he was gonna die. So at that point I figured Chaos the fire main with Tsunade. But there's no way Masked Man's gonna survive both of them. And the damage that the team brings out, it's really strong. You know, like seeing that 41 hits, such a beautiful chase animation for Tobirama though. I really do love his animations. And I can't get enough of it. I still have to +6 awaken him. He is only +2 at the moment. But, you know, I do love him. I look forward to using him in different team combinations from water main to fire main and even lightning main. So maybe throughout the next week or 2, I have a lot of teams to try out. For this Thursday, I'm honestly excited for that team because it is going to be, hopefully, it's going to be a fun team, but it's also going to be a team that can do well in the current meta and have a lot more protection than this one, because this team, it's really dangerous. I mean, if you play with this team, you need to realize that the battle has to be in your favor. It's really hard to turn around. But I mean, I had fun with the Hokages. I love them very much, and I haven't been using Tsunade much, so maybe if I used Kurenai, the team could have been slightly better. In the sense that I have a mirror and I can give myself a shield to Minato or somebody else, and you know, there's different ways to optimize the team, I'll give you that. But I wanted to use this team specifically. Hopefully you guys like the Hokage idea. You know, they are Hokages after all super expensive ninjas, and when it comes to the anime itself, I always thought the Hokages were really awesome. Which leads me to trying out more of the Kages when Edo Hiruzen comes out. Maybe even revisiting the original Hiruzen and Hashirama. But, you know, I have a lot of teams to try out at this point because of all the ninjas I picked up in the past week or 2. And I'm still going to try to pick up a couple more ninjas before I am done collecting for a while. But hopefully you guys ended up enjoying these fights, because I really felt stressed during the battle, but after the Sage went off, I was like, you know, I felt good about using this team. It worked. It may not have been the best Sage team that I have done, but it won against some super difficult lineups that I thought I would lose without even giving it a chance. But, you know, I always play out the fights unless you know it's a guaranteed loss. So it's never good to retreat. At least in Sage, you're not going to retweet, but not retweet, retreat. So fighting this guy again, but Sage ends up finishing on us. So the fight didn't end up going, although I did fight him earlier. So fighting Kurama Naruto's, Susanoo Itachi's, Masked Man, Joni Minato's, Roshi's. Only thing I didn't fight was like Madara's, and I pretty much would have been fighting the entire endgame. I forgot Shisui's as well. What a crazy night for Sage World. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. I love the Hokages. I'll catch you guys next time.